What's up? This is Vanessa with Moments of Clarity on XXO. We've got Rahman. Shaheed might pop in soon. And we've got special guest Made in Tokyo. And here we are. What's going
Oh,
on? Tokyo, where are you?
and I'm in LA.
You're in
I'm in
LA.
LA. I'm in
Okay.
LA. I'm at home in the process of moving into a new crib, looking for cribs, and man, running around with my son. He loved playing soccer. The album just came out.
Yes,
Um,
we have to immediately jump into the album. That was last week,
I'm
right?
shooting. Yeah, I'm dropping videos. It's probably the most videos that I've dropped ever for like a project, and uh I've always just been picky with my with my videos, so that's the truth why I don't have a lot of videos. When honestly, I think I would give advice to all artists when you drop, you should probably just try to shoot every video if you can.
Right.
And that's on some I tweeted about it the other day, and there was fans that were like, "Oh, you gonna pull a Beyonce?" And I was like, nah, like I'm like, yo, like it's too late. I can't even go back and do old videos. I could, but it's just a different vibe. And now I'm like, I'm over here waiting to see if J Balvin's gonna be back in town, and just working. Just I already shot two videos, and one was with Toro, which was like a real like a favorite like collab that I needed to get done to work with Toro and Moy. Like that was just like a not even like a like a like my fans like asked for it. It was just something that I really wanted to get done. And he actually did all the transitions on the album. So like I did that song with him, and he did the beat for that one, but he did all the transitions for K Swish's beats. And actually a new producer on my album that did the song with me and Wiz. Actually got like four records on there, but it's a kid from Sweden that I signed that's like 17. And he's co-producer, but I just wanted to add like somebody new that get a chance because I always use K Swisher. So I wanted to like give a chance for like a new producer to get some type of shine. And that's what this out like this oh, besides the Toro one, we got the Chance and Smino. And Chance and Smino are both amazing artists. Both got like so much like style. Um I don't know, I can go on all day. I got another video dropping actually since we already talked, I got another video dropping tomorrow.
For
I
what?
got like
For what?
huh?
For what? For what song? For what?
To the moon,
The moon.
but it's actually two in one. So it's throw it back that's in there too. So I got two videos in one.
God.
So that and special to me too because all these videos have been like done. I've worked with my older brother to get all these videos done. He's directed all the videos. And my older brother did like my first like before like my double XL, like my first press pictures that I had before like any of that, like that I like had an orange beanie on and I was just wearing like the same thing. And he did my logo, like the Made in Tokyo, like I still use. So now I'm happy that I got like budgets and stuff that I could work with my brother and be able to put visions out there and still work with all like my whole family, which is dope. The fans are loving the new music. They telling me like, "Oh snap, Tokyo, you sound like when you first came out," and like blah blah. So it's dope. It's dope to see that. To see me just dropping one record and it just be me to where it's like I can drop multiple songs with your favorite artist. I can it's very um I'm blessed to be able to work with people that were people I grew up listening to or just fans of, and like for it to work out, and blessed to be able to just after like I look back and be like I look back from like double XL cover to um a little bit before that to where like when I first dropped, And looking back at all of that to where it's almost been like 5 years for like me like dropping my first music, like my first track. And to like double on that, to work with all of the artists, from Sean to everybody, because in the midst of all of this, like working on your project, it's been 2 years since I dropped my last album. So in the midst of that, having a kid, your son's 3, you haven't dropped the album in 2 years. Um, Ned Flanders and Chuck E. Cheese both plat for you off your last album. Like I feel like I got like a solid fan base, but I'm not the like I post a picture of my sock and it gets 1 million likes and it goes viral. But like I feel like I got like this solid fan base that they tap in, they check in. There's certain people like that be like, yo, like, they always bring up, they be like, yo, man, last time I heard you, or like, when the first time I seen a lot of people that tapped in on this album and they told me, yo, like I first heard of you on Double XL or certain like this. I'm getting a lot of people from, I put out a number. Like I got this number on this app called Community, and like where it's like I text my fans and I just start giving it to them, and I've been like just messaging them personally, but they've been sending me like it's normal like text to the phone, but it's like, so it'll go normally to their phone, but it's an app on my phone. So I'll text them and I'll be talking about the album, but I get like a lot of random videos. I've got videos from the Double XL show, like when I brought out Sean, had my son there, like from like the LA show to the New York show. To like, I'm like, oh, I don't even have that shirt no more. Like I'm like looking at like videos and I'm like, dang, I remember that. Oh, they had us the custom jackets and the big all this. Like, I'm looking at all like pictures and different stuff, and like it's like real like nostalgic like moments that like when I like fans hit me back now and they're listening to the project, they bring back all of those memories back up. So it's like if you haven't dropped in a long time, when you drop, everybody goes crazy. They bring back everything that you ever did, bring up old pictures of you, post your old merch, be like, oh, you're not a real fan, like you ain't get this merch, oh, you just got that word. Like, so it's just dope. It's dope seeing that, on top of, like I keep telling you, my son is 3.
But that's when you know you got a real following.
Yeah, bro. Like it's dope to see that, to where I explained. I said to my son the other day, he told me to turn the music down. Right? He was like, it's too loud. Right? He's 3. Like I'm like, all right, bro. Like I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna turn it down. Right? So I turned it down, but I was like, this is what I do. Like so I started explaining to him, but I caught myself never having to explain like what I do. But like I was like, I do music. This is what I do. Like daddy do music. And I was like, you like music? He's like, I like music. And I was like, you want me to turn it down? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I bet. And it's crazy because I was at my management and everybody, and I was like, they were telling me, no, it's not them. Somebody slipped up. But the clean version is not on my album, is not up right now. Like, right? Like it's not on Apple. Like, so certain people that hit me up like, hey, I would love to play the album, like, with the kids, boom, boom. I caught myself playing my album the other day, and my son is in that stage of repeating everything. I turn my track off so fast. I'm telling you, we put our R&B like playlists on. Like I was like, yep, yeah, I'm working on getting the clean version of that. Like, I was like, I can't even have that. Like I'm real like on like real big on that, like right now, to where I understand certain like artists that have made certain changes in their career, like that made certain things to where it's like you could still be like, like what like put you on, but at the same time too, like be mindful. Now I understand certain things, like why, like, when your parents or certain people tell you you live so long. Like you gotta understand what I was talking about, or certain things that you might see a rapper doing, you just be like like I've seen this before. This is the typical, like you know the process of just all of that. You could tell when somebody's about to pop off, or you could tell when somebody like missed their shot, like, or missed their moment, or like you could tell like all of those moments, like, but I'm over here like watching it and so grateful of just like to be able to have a career, to be able to take care of my son at the same time, take care of my family members at the same time. Everybody's healthy, nobody's struggling during COVID, like in my family, like everybody's like good, and I'm just blessed. I got like one more album and I'm out of my situation.
Wow.
And that's like I'm smiling on that because my next album is like word bet, and after that it's Tokyo drop whenever he want to drop. And like people, like it's crazy because it's like I've made major moves without being with a major, and
Guys, why aren't you with the major?
without a major.
Yeah, but why aren't you with the major? Why did you make that decision?
I would because it's not nothing that is like really like there's not been a situation that I feel like that was gonna change my life.
Okay.
Like, it was nothing that was gonna go too crazy to where shoot, like even the situation that like I'm in now, like I feel like shoot, if I would have had, just certain little things that I know now, I'm like, shoot, I probably wouldn't even sign certain situations. But now you learn so much to where now I'm like, oh yeah, like I've recouped my pub deal. I've like I have a whole new pub deal coming that's crazy to like the same type of check that I signed when I did Uber, to where I'm like, oh yeah, this is like I started back over again with the same check that like when I popped off. And on top of that will be the next album will be done to where I'm grinding to get this album done. So where I'll be before I even see a plat off of this album, I'm trying to have the next album done.
Did you work on
So
this album the whole time? During like this year alone?
bro, honestly, bro, to keep it real, there was moments where I took breaks, like on working on music. But like I went on tour, like people like, dang, like I heard Ned Flanders, I heard Chuck E. Cheese, like I heard like, Skateboard P, like I am from Tokyo, right? So Skateboard P, the day I shot that Skateboard P video, my son was born that day.
Wow.
Went on tour with Sean. Sean took me on tour right after I had my son. Went on tour with him. Shout out to him being a real one, putting a check like instantly like boom. You're giving me like my manager hit me up like, hey Sean, I want you to go on tour. I'm like, word, how many days? Like the whole tour, like the whole US tour. I'm like, bet, like, let me make some calls real quick, but
That's
I don't
real.
think nobody gonna be upset about this because this is a consistent check coming in on top of like, like I'm not no major.
That's great. That's a
But I
great.
got a major tour going to where he's gonna perform it every night with me.
Right.
To where I did my set, and then Sean brought me out to perform it on his set. And Mike Carson did the whole show, like set up like stuff for like the. I ain't have no lights. Tokyo is super new, like no lights on stage, no smoke bombs, like it's just me and my DJ. We went on Sean's show, like on his set. I'm like, oh wow, like the speaker sound, that felt like the speaker sound loud. Everything just felt, I was like, yo, this is really how it's supposed to feel. So I got blessed with that. But then in the midst of that, like how you said, have you worked like when you're working on the album? So I feel like I had the album ready. Like I had my next album ready of that grind and work on tour with Sean. I was so like, oh, let me work on the next project. Let me get something done while I'm gone from the house. While I'm gone from the house and I'm not around my son, and like my son's back at home and I'm got the tour bus, let me record. So I was recording, trying to create so much music. I was trying to like lean. I was trying to get Sean to jump on and stuff. I'm like, hey man, like, like I got the studio. Like I was really like on my record. So I already had the other project done, but I low-key took a break right after I dropped the project.
Mm.
So it was like, but it was a blessing where it's like I had time to work on the project. I had the solid I had a solid relationship with me and Ferg. Where Ferg would be like, yeah, we do music, but like we gotta link up, bro. We gotta link up in the city. Like we gotta kick it. Like we gotta really show people we really be mobbing. Like, like so I'm like, word, like, but I ain't really had that from a lot of rappers where they be on some just, I don't know. So it wasn't really where I was like, I'm like, oh, you want to kick it? Bet. Like I'm normal. Like cause a lot of people don't be on that. So Sean was like that. Ferg was like that. Um, in the midst of that, Ty, Ty is one of those always hit you up. He can see you post something about family, uh, random meme, and he gonna hit you up. He gonna call you and tell you about the transitions on your album, break it all down, do the whole nine. So I went on tour with Billie Eilish. So I went
Wow.
on tour with Billie Eilish in the midst of that. When you say, "Are you working?" So in the midst of that, when you work on, I'm like, I went on tour with Billie Eilish in Europe.
Damn.
That was crazy.
I'm
Like
sure it was.
just perform. Imagine just performing. Like you already know. People already know. I want Uber everywhere or like certain like records like that. So I'm going out. One, I was shocked that me and Billie Eilish had like two records that we never dropped. And I was like, dang, we're not gonna get to drop these. We'll whoop, like we're gonna do something else. Like we talked about doing more records, but we had worked on those. But I'm like, all right, bet. Like we don't gotta do those. Couple months later, boom, Billie Eilish and them offering you to go on tour. I'm like, her? Bet. Like, yo, I'm like, what? Where they going? Where are we going? Like, boom, like they say, oh, we going to Europe. And I'm like, dang, I only did my tour in Europe just like before hers. Like I did my first one. And funny thing, Ferg was just so happened flew in town. And he was in there in London. My first ever show in London, Ferg popped out, did Ned Flanders with me.
Mm.
Ferg brought Rocky.
Wow.
Like Ferg popped up, didn't know he was bringing rock, like boom boom, like popped up, like Rocky and Ferg both ran on stage. I'm like I'm like how the crowd was.
Winning.
Like
Winning.
I'm like, yo, like boom, Paris show, Joey Badass is there. He pops out at my show. My first Europe tour. And these is like, maybe like 1,000 cap, like 800, 900. Like they're not crazy, like, oh my God, like, but I double back around and go on tour with Billy and we're doing 20,000, like doing stadiums every night. And guess what? They like, like not a open, no, usually openers give you like a couple of songs. Like,
Right.
and I've been blessed to where Sean like a set, gave me a set, like go in, like, boom, boom. I'm like, dang, like I ain't even, he gave me like my first set where it was like, yo, like I feel this in my stomach. Like I gotta really like work this, like how I really see him on stage with no, like not the beat behind it or whatever, like just the beat and him really rapping. And Sean be rapping like fast, like going in. So I'm like, yo, like you gotta really have your cardio up, performing an hour or 40 minutes, like, and really going in and intensive. Like if you don't have songs that are like calm down, if you don't have songs that are like with Janae or like other people and you can slow down the set and you're just straight just turn up the whole time, you're like, oh my God, like yo, like I gotta get some songs that like change the pace of this and really builds a show, or I'm gonna be stuck in this mode of like turned up completely. And you could be that. I done seen people where it's like that, but like you still gotta be to where like the best shows are ones that like really feel like you give them transitions, you get in moments, you change moods and like all of that. So bro, like I went on tour with Billie Eilish, turned around, went on tour with Ferg in those
Wow.
2 year span. Like went on tour with Billie Eilish, went on tour with Ferg, uh did my own China day, like China like week. So in the midst of that, like the 2 years, like Billie Eilish, China day, like for like a week, and then I did my own Europe tour. Like it was just like tour run on top of being on Chance's record and Chance putting me on TV, like Good Morning America, like just all of that. So it was just
Right.
like I was like, oh, I don't got a album out right now, but yo, like, bruh got me on TV right now. I'm on a song with the Baby and Chance. Billie Eilish just took me on tour. I just did my first China thing. Like I just did my first like Europe tour. Ned Flanders plats, Chuck E. Cheese plats. Like we good. And then now this album drops and um I'm feeling good. Like it feels like when you know your fans been pressing you under all your comments. I could post pictures of the girl I talked to or like anything and they just be under your comments like, where's the album though?
You like
Where's the
America's favorite son.
where's the album? Where's the album though? Where's the album though? Like, you know, like we need the album. Oh, on top of that, let's throw in Ferg putting me on the record with Nicki. Like on top of
Oh,
that,
right,
so
right.
in the midst of
I
that,
asked about this. Right.
move your hips, like, and the crazy thing
That's a
with that
dope
is
record.
the crazy
Did your
thing
thing on it.
the crazy thing with that is like Ferg, Ferg like is one of those dudes that inspired me to want to start getting producers and want to sign and start building my my brand even bigger than like what it was. And I always had Private Club and like my team, but like to always just stand on it, don't forget about it, keep going hard, like so. Ferg hit me up like, yo, like I got producers, whoop whoop, and like you know when you got Sean Ferg, any of those people hit you up with like, yo, I got producers, I got beats, like send me like a hook back, send something, or like you know like lay some on this. You want to knock it out the park. You want to knock it out. You don't even want them no. You want them to think about what they about to say on it.
Right.
You want them to feel like there ain't nothing that they gonna be like, yo, Tokyo, you spaz, we got to use this. Like that's all you want to hear back. You don't want to hear like that you wasted your time in the studio, nothing. You want to just hear back that it happened. I didn't think nothing of it, bro. I did Move Your Hips hook and I did a verse. Ferg sending back to me with him and Nicki going back and forth with my hook and was like, what you think about this? What you think I'm gonna say? Like I'm like, yo, Nicki, like wait, y'all both did my flow and was like, move your hips, okay. I'm like, oh my god, like wait, she just took it to a whole nother level, like, and y'all both going back and forth. Y'all basically just did plain Jane, but a new vibe of it with like adding Tokyo to it, to where Nicki's always just been randomly like nice to me, randomly like I think I got like a follow and I was like, yo, I was on tour with Billie Eilish.
Oh, so you didn't know Nicki before this.
No. Like it's like I mean the whole world know Nicki, but like you know, like I didn't know Nicki yet. Like and I still haven't like we didn't link up, and that's why I'd be like a lot of fans don't know. This is the first time he's saying that because like a lot of Nicki fans might think, oh, they was in the studio or about no, like I didn't link up, but she's always showed love. Like after I went on tour with Billie Eilish, I feel like I did the rec like this is the thing. I had did the record, but I feel like after I went on tour with Billie Eilish, maybe my page popped up in front of her or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, like we already had the record, but we had never linked." So it's like if you hear the hook or whatever, and be like, "Oh, there's Tokyo on it," blah blah. If you seen it popped up on your timeline, just being real and just be like, "Oh, I got a song with him." Follow him, like, "Oh, like that's crazy." Like you know, like he on tour with Billie Eilish, that's dope. Whatever. She messaged me and was like, "Yo, like you know, um, like that she rocked with like the music or whatever." And I sent over like mad records after that. Like I sent over mad records, like different hooks, different stuff, like vibes. So like, but after the baby, like I don't know, like you know, like I don't know, like you know, like I know like how it is having a kid. So I know when you go away from social media, all of that stuff. Like so I don't know. And I know like it's even bigger to where it's like people die to see my son, but like I know people are going to like their head are gonna explode when they see a picture of that. Like it's just like it's just like a wildness of just like
It is.
you've been a star for like forever. Like
Right.
regardless, like you know, like just on everything, every platform of like I can remember me being in Japan and being like before I was calling myself Made in Tokyo and seeing girls in Japan, like Japanese girls, like really like on that, like they're from like Harajuku, but like they idolize Nicki And they love the fact, and they eating that up. The fact that like, oh, Harajuku bar, like they love like all the colors, everything, the nail, like all of that. They eat that up to where it's a whole nother culture of people that are like little like Nicki's out there, dressed just like that, like want to like be exactly like that. So for Tokyo to get that from being from Uber Everywhere um to Travis remixing to um Big Sean remixing to Two Chains remixing I Want to all of these things happening to where honestly none of them were Tokyo reached out and said, Big bro, can you please do this? Can you please do this? They were all like honestly like reach out to where they honestly felt genuine. They were at moments where people really cared about this or whatever like the case is. So like I done ran into like between that moment, like I think the last time I seen Chains, it was with Wiz, and it was like I took a picture. I'm gonna have to send it to y'all. It's the most funny picture because I was like with the tallest rappers in the game. Like, I posted the picture one day, and it would start going viral, and I took it down. I was like, yeah, I don't need this to go viral like that. Like I was like, but it was like I was in the picture, and you could just see mainly their body, but like just kind of see my head and see like both of them, like in the picture. And I was in the section with them, and this is uh Chains had a Chains had like a club like thing. I had my club like at Vegas. That's how I got a residency at Vegas in the midst of this. Like I feel like a lot of like, bro, like a lot of things happen for me that like I'm like, yo, I'm not. This thing's happened for like majors. They set all of this stuff up. They get you the Sprite deals, and like I feel like after the Douglas, all of that, like bro, like I got the Sprite can, like all of this stuff, like was just skyrocketing like going up to where the artist that like I started messing with Down to Earth, he ends up being singing like the hook for Logic for his single. Like and you know, like it's just and just like just a lot of things just happen in the midst of this. And now like I'm getting so many fans that are messaging me in Spanish that I can't even message back to because I don't speak it. And they're messaging me back because it's J Balvin's fans are going crazy. Young Nudies fans are going crazy. Um, Lucky's fans are going crazy. Like I'm like a big underground person, so like I be wanting the underground people. Like I want the people that are like underdogs because I feel like I'm that. Like I want the people that like feel like they might have been slept on or you know what like whatever. Like so.
How was it working with Billie Eilish? Because you know, and I asked that because I know that she's like widely accepted by like the urban community, and
Yeah,
she's been pretty outspoken. Like she made a couple comments about some rappers that kind of brushed some people the wrong way or
yeah,
whatever.
you know. So when I first like I think I seen Billie Eilish project and it was the ladder like thing right
Mm-hmm.
like, super and I was like who is this chick and then I seen her on like Instagram right and I was like who is this chick like you know like when you could tell when somebody posts and they're like they got their stuff together like each post like everything looks well put together like the video like everything I'm like who like put this together like who is this like they look like they about to pop off. I go to Apple and see that she has the A list, like blah blah. I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was like, oh yeah, this is out of here. Like, you know, blah blah. I don't even know. You know, I think it was like, oh shit, I like, you know, like some like right. And this is before I think this is right when I was seeing I think Vince Staples had something with her, like, and that was another like I was like Vince Staples, like, you know, like from his range to like I'm like Billy and like you know like to where he's very outspoken he's very outspoken online
Yeah,
like
he
you know,
is.
and like a lot and in the hip-hop community a lot of people respect him so
Yep.
like so
Exactly.
it's just like so for him to even work with her like that's even more like a cosign too like to where it was like valid on like he wouldn't be doing some like with like especially like a young like just like them like how I see him tweeted like this like he wouldn't just be like just like young pop star whatever like I like it would make sense like on a record that he would be doing like
Wow.
if I seen something so in the midst of that Billy, like I followed her and she was like, "Oh my God, I've been listening to you ever since I was blah blah." But I think I laughed at it because she's already young. So like the age that she said wasn't really too much young from her age that she was now. Like, you know, so like we laughed, joked about that. her brother, like me and her brother at Link like followed each other, and her brother writes a lot of stuff, has a lot of like records. And the record that we had recorded on was one was on uh uh um a Wonder Girl beat. It was on a Wonder Girl beat, and I feel like I don't know like as far as like because I know that they write stuff together and stuff like that, but I know for that record, I know that they had that record in mind already. They already had a record, and it was just like we kind of just like I feel like seeing vibes and like see how I would record on that record, and then I pulled up a record and she recorded on that one. So
Okay.
like there was one where I seen that they already had something to vibe and they wanted to record something and they just recorded it and I
Right.
added a verse on it. And then
Hmm.
there was something where I was like, let me see if they can on the spot jump on like this vibe. And like she killed it. And like the crazy thing is, but like I don't know as far as like me and her are cool, but like I don't be pressing like records and I know how like her camp like everything is strategic.
Oh
Everything is
yeah.
like boom. It's not like how as rappers like boom, like yeah, just clear. Like, you know, boom, and we shoot the video and go up like, you know, like no, like the next record that she probably is about to drop is probably about to be the biggest record. Like her next biggest record. So I understand like on that. So on top of that, going on tour and like being around her mom, being around her dad, like getting to know everybody, it made more sense to where it'd be like, yo, like I would want it to be that way because I didn't really know her too much. Like, you know, like so when we went on tour, we got to know each other even more. I got to see her dad. Like her mom, her dad, like everybody is hands-on on tour. Her dad is pushing the rigs,
That's
pushing the
good.
stuff. Like her mom is there, like icing the feet, like putting the little, like all of this stuff, like filming everything. And I was just soaking it in, bro. Like, and then on top of that, they gave me an hour set
Wow.
hour set for like
Mhm.
for stadium, like for the whole like you know like the whole tour. Like an hour
Wow.
set where I'm getting to perform my whole thing, my DJ going up, we getting to perform our EDM stuff and making people clap their hands. And we know that we got those people. And on top of that, we so blessed that we got put on festivals before this. So we know how to react to a crowd that big. Because that's how her show felt. Like it felt like, oh, I'm at a festival right now. Like this is like I can't crowd surfing like this, but it felt like the kids that be at Justin Bieber or RE shows or like that. Those little kids that are like bruh, she paused during her songs. When she paused during her songs, they're like they have signs that they put up when she's done performing. They
Wow.
have signs. They have signs and they're like, yo, like we love you. Like they have chants that they all do together to where I'm like, yo, like they're all yelling, we love you, and putting the chant and I'm like, yo, this feels like a basketball, like a football, basketball, like this, like they really feel like they're your team, like they like your fans, like I like it really was a mind like you ain't got fans until the fans is like that. And it's like to where it's like they feel like so it's like I love like the small the like that and I you know what I mean like this I'm gonna say it correctly. You don't have stands. You don't have stands until it's like that to where they're there. They're like this versus like I have diehard fans that come to the shows. When I got New York shows, that people they came to the Double XL show and they were like, "Hey, you did that, B? Like, Bob, like you killed, like you know, like I'm here with my son. Like you know, I've had that, and then I've had the LA show where it's like the kids that see me at the first show like at the Double XL show, like, man, like, yo, you and Cardi, blah, blah, when you guys gonna drop? Oh, we wish we could have seen, like, you know, like pouring their heart out. Like at the, like, you know, like where you, like, they want to talk to you. And it's just like, yo, it's crazy. Further that, did shows with Cardi on his tour, like in Cali after that. So it's like certain things that like I've linked with certain people that was on the Double XL and it made like and it makes sense because it's like y'all all work together. People seeing that like there's a moment that like y'all capsule. So it's like all of those artists, it's no brainer to where you see Big Sean and Freddie Gibbs working. It's like that's supposed to happen. It makes sense. People that for like maybe first time seeing Freddie Gibbs was probably seeing him with Sean.
Right.
It makes sense for people to have that nostalgic feeling. To where
Right.
like I'm overdue to do songs with Cap G and certain people like that. Like my fans deserve that. Like that's just we seen that. Like we seen the cover, bro. Like if you don't give us a song with P and B, if you don't give us a song with like like they want those.
Right.
Like I just be seeing it, like bro. I be like, yo, I be tapped in, bro. Like I be.
Well, obviously you're very well.
Look at the Snapchat. Look at the like how many like I follow all of those people there.
Damn.
And people message all day. We're messaging. Like we message like boom, I got the community app or whatever. This like app and these are text messages from people like that's on this app. Like I don't like I'm just like I don't know these people like that, but messaging me moments. They're messaging me moments and like really like, yo, how's your day? Or they talking about like real life stuff that like they going through. Like to where it might just be a simple yo, like, yo, you gonna be good.
And you go back and forth with them.
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, like we might like there might be a message from Monday. And I'm looking at a message from yesterday and I messaged back today. Like, like where I'm like, I got threads with like random people, but I know that this taps in to where anything that I drop, I can message you and I can mass message all y'all. I can keep it like so close to where it's not that close to where I mean look like I'm not posting nothing online, but I'm talking to all of my fans.
So you hands on.
Like so I can talk to them. Like I could talk to them like all throughout the day where like, yeah, like you don't gotta have negative stuff and stroll. Some people need that. Some people, like I know right now we don't even gotta say names. Some people online need their manager to take their phone away.
Oh yeah.
Like
There's a lot of that.
It's a lot of people like, and not even just with music. We've seen a lot just even just through political, just anything. Some people just need their phone taken away. Some people are just trash their whole brand because they don't know how to like talk or don't know how to really articulate how they feel about certain things. So like like I've watched it. Certain people would be better off if they just didn't say nothing online and they just was like a Kendrick. Like and just like posted when they like, posted when it was need be. Like and I even learned that on certain things. Bro, I don't, man, I post my music. I'm saying some positive stuff. If I see somebody say something negative, I try to put some light on it. I try to retweet like things that I know that can get somebody some shine, repost like clothes. I'm about to start streaming and like playing people's beats, reviewing them, and playing people's like you could send me your clothes through like a PO box, and I'm gonna start reviewing clothes because kids talk about clothes to me. So it's like, yo, like what is gonna be very natural? What makes it very human? What makes you closer to your fan? Or like what makes you like feel human to people? Because that's what people relate to more. If you're not talking all day about your like your son and your music, or you're not doing this or you glorify this or whatever, like you gotta have some type of tap in with your fans to relate to them. If it's not through the music, if they not everybody got a bad bit in LA. Like and like like or and like Uber, like, but there might be a kid that can relate to one thing in your song, but like all the other stuff, half of them kids that listening to the streaming, they can't relate to none of that, but they love the lifestyle that like there's something that makes them tap in with the person, like that's like it's interesting to them. So it's like you got to find what's interesting to you to tap in with your fans and like that. And if it's like you're a normal guy, you better be tapping in with them and be like, hey, how you doing? Like like have conversations with people, like not be like, because if you normal, that's how like fans should feel. Like
Right.
like you normal. Like, but if you are the Hollywood dude, or you don't talk to people, or you post certain pictures and like you're like that, you can play that the ratio number and like only follow a certain amount of people, only post a certain amount of pictures. Like, I don't really kick it with all the rap. Like, like you can do the mystique thing, but like me, I'm like that underground. Like I like to be in the crowd with the fans. Like I like to like talk to people. I like to be at the meet and greets and like really have conversations with people. If I can't have a conversation with you, like it's really weird.
I gotta ask, how the hell did you found Cam? He's been a wanted man in the
You know
hip hop
what?
scene.
Cam. So my brother helped me put this project together. 24 hours. And 20 is one of those guys that if you go look at my brother, like and like I say like this is the person that I uploaded I uploaded I want to his SoundCloud. Uploaded I want to his SoundCloud 2 weeks later. My homie Matthew that would start working at the New Yorker and all of this, he found it. He was working at Fader and then he posted it and then it went to every blog. Literally like it ricocheted to it. I'm waking up, I'm seeing everybody and their mama following me. Like all of this is everywhere. But my brother was the person that was like, yo, let me upload this to your SoundCloud. I don't got no followers, please. Like, let me upload this. Crazy thing is like on this, like we having this conversation to where I could even go into depth. Like, bro, like before I was made in Tokyo, I had music out under a whole nother name. Like and like I was had like tracks out where I was rapping and like to where I got stuff with um trademark that's in Jet Life to me and Georgia Smith had a record before she even became who she was. To where it's like, and I just seen her online and just being an internet kid, bro. And like just on that. To where my brother, like I was like, yo, I made this one turn record. I think this joint will go up, like blah blah. Put it on your joint because I know you got like hot new hip. I know you got like certain people like watching your stuff. Like they post your stuff on Too Dope with all of the little blogs. Like I know that know
Right.
you'll give me some type of little look. And like SoundCloud going up right now. I think I could like stir something up real crazy.
Right.
Boom, bro. My brother 20, like he put it up there, and like literally 2 weeks later, my stuff started ricocheting, and my brother started helping me with my stuff, start helping me find my management, start helping me with everything, start getting me paid for my first, paid for the Uber video, paid for the I want, like start paying for all of the stuff for me to get done at the same time while he's artist. Like still like not knocking all this out, boom, boom. Mind you, he has those plays to where 20 was signed to JD at a time back in the day. 20 was 20 is cool with Johnny Shipes, who is right
Okay.
hand with
That's the
Cam.
homie. Johnny's the homie.
Yeah. So Johnny and 20 made that happen with Cam.
Okay.
So but
Oh,
like but 20 has been in that circle to where if you go look at 20's discography, he's got a record with DMX. He got records like it's like so he got record like he's cool with Smoke Dizzle, like he cool with just that circle of like people to where it's like you got a big homie that's your real big brother to where it's like when certain people heard my songs, it was certain people that were like, oh, that's what's the name look like brother. All right, cool. When 2 Chainz see me at the video shoot or whatever, Bob Blau, and I told him like Bob Blau was my brother, he's like, oh man, like I ain't, oh okay, like Bob Blau. So there was still like this little, how did Tokyo pull off the cam? There's still little pieces to where it's like he got that, like he made sure it happened. Like I ain't never linked with Cam, but I always been a Dipset fan, always been a pay in full. Like, man, like you always like everybody like in the mom, like if you know the culture, like I was a Jewel, like it's still on my bucket list that I gotta get a Jewel Santana like feature.
mm.
Like my son middle name Santana because my baby mom last name Santana. So I gotta do that. I gotta do that just on some, just like I feel like, like he have Dominican. So I feel like I gotta do that. Like I already did the cam, like like it just makes sense. I got the Ferg, got me and Nicki did stuff like I'm tapped in with everybody. Harry Fraud, like all like like people in New York that be out there. Flatbush Zombies, like all of them. Like,
Apple Zombies is dope.
yo, we're so overdue to where like I know it's coming. Like like there's a handful of stuff that like I don't want to speak too soon, but I know people working on projects, and I heard a few things and. Like I'm around. Just know, like people working on projects, my album's done, and I'm around. But yeah, man, 20 made that happen with the cam. There's a lot of features that are in there like that people weren't expecting, like the BJ Chicago kid. Like, and like that was me really, some real rap, that I felt like people needed to see.
BJ's dope too. He's real
People
dope.
need to see
And he has a voice
Yo,
that's needed right now during these times.
yo, he like I would say like he gave me that. Like, you know, if I didn't have a record or something that was like for these times right now, like I was like, thank you, brother. Like, please. Like what you said on the record, I need to be said, or like
Yeah.
people need to know that I am conscious of what's going on just in life. And there needs to be something there for somebody to where like I was raised right. You know, BJ Chicago Kid is the guy you bring in and your parents be like this, like, oh, he got a good friend.
I know.
Like, you know, like he's with he's in the circle like that, and like he can still get, you know, lit, but he's not like, you know, he's going to care. Like he'll
Yeah,
pull up
he's a real
he'll
good
pull up
dude.
to their crib and like record the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so like I like that. Man,
So
I'm
y'all did that together? In like
yeah,
in person?
yeah, he pulled up. He
Oh,
pulled
okay.
up and like we really worked on that. And my engineer recorded him. Like that's how picky he was. And I feel like how his voice is so good to where it's my engineer right there, get it right on point to where usually you have some singers come in, bro, and they be like, oh well, I need my singer guy, or I need this, or I need somebody to touch it, or something like that. Nah, he ain't need none of that. Like, and I could say too, like one that I could say because people will hear this interview and be like, well, like you know, because Billie Eilish fans are tuned in now because I said something. So like you know, like no, she didn't need nobody either. She was going crazy too. So it's like I didn't need, like the crazy part about it is like you so when somebody's that big like Billie Eilish, you don't want to record nothing in the studio. Like you're so like, nah, I don't even want to do that. Her brother recorded something and it went everywhere. Like, and that was them. I was like, bro, I'm not filming nothing. Like blah blah. Like, you know, like boom, I don't want to ruin if there was a chance for a record to drop because we got that type of relationship. My son in the midst of this modeled her kids brand.
That's
um,
dope.
on top of that, like I don't bring my son over to the crib and her mom is giving us tips on food that he needs to eat. Um, letting them play with the dog and you know like them all just playing on some like just family like stuff and I'm just there like word like like don't let the dog jump on too crazy like like your dog kind of big like I'm like I don't know if he really like that but my son he don't care he loves dogs like all of that like he's the person to walk up right now if I put him right here he'd be like how you doing today like just like he don't care like it's not a scary which is like I need like a little bit there like that hey they're strangers because like he's like super like what's up like how you doing today like what we doing like it like so I'm big on that. I'm excited because I felt like I used to have to push so hard for like music to go like super crazy and like now I feel like this album is already going up. I'm on the call right now. He ran out here.
Did
But
you
nah,
have did you have any concerns putting the project out during in this environment?
honestly, my only thing was that I wanted to perform, bro. Like
Right.
that was my only thing that I wanted to perform because I felt like my records were like so performant, like so like fun, but like their vibes to like jam to, but like I wanted to perform. That was my only thing. I knew I didn't have a problem and I was extra hyped because I had been working. So like I knew that I had music to drop on top of me and Ferg were supposed to drop a project. In the midst of that, the Nicki record was gonna be on the project. And then we
Oh,
ended up dropping like the Square like record and like that was gonna be on that project with the New Year hits and we had the record. So we had other records. There's a record me, Yachty, and Ferg, and like that record I really like because they kind of like shared like a verse where it's like Yachty did his and Ferg did his, and then went back to my hook, and it was like a Ronnie J beat. So like we did that, but like that project didn't like it got hold up. I think he was supposed to drop like a project that was like crazy with somebody, and then like he honorable and I seen it like and he just like put that out and put the Nicki on it. I'm like, Oh, okay, I see. I was like, you. I was like this, because everybody I feel like doesn't want to drop during this time, or everybody's finding the right time to drop, or like whatever. So I feel like maybe they moved it around or whatever, but um, we didn't drop that, and I was still confident because I was like, yo, you come off a record with Nicki Minaj, and it ends up being like a top like record, regardless like if it's your record or not. He'd be like this, yo, this record just went up here, or I got these fans now looking at my stuff. I'm not worried about it. All my fans is already gonna look at it. Now I got a handful of fans over here. I'm getting certain different looks. Just drop your stuff. And on top of what I did different was that like how I told you with the videos. I don't normally do a lot of videos. You can go search and look. I don't have a lot of videos. And just off of this project alone, you would like how the rate that I'm going, just off of this project alone, and just this year, I would shoot more videos this year than my whole like that I've ever done. And it's just like I'm shooting every video damn near off the album. Like before the album drop, I had two videos already off the album. Normally I shoot just two videos or one video, the single, and I'm off. Like
Right.
and it's like now I'm like, nah, like, boom, back to how you said did it gear like this. It made me think, okay, they're sitting in front of the camera. They're sitting in front of the computer all day. Like you gotta be in front of their face because you got, like artists that like I admire, like that are upcoming. You got new artists that are coming out, and every you feel like they drop a video every other day, like with a song, like, and it's like they coming like to where I salute to every new artist that I've seen to where they've made this wave of where it's like, yeah, you see like Beyonce and stuff like that, but I've been seeing a wave of where it's like how many NBA YoungBoy videos I've ever seen. Like a lot. Like like just where it's like before I seen like a song that I was listening to, I was just seeing
I
hella
know
videos.
it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like bro really goes in.
Or
NL Chopper, like they're like certain people, like they're like really like going in, flow like certain people are just like, yo, I'm gonna keep giving you videos. I'm gonna keep giving you video, like I'm at your neck. To where it's like that's how it has to be, to where it starts like where it's like, yo, we're in front of our computers 24/7. This is we're gonna get with the program and start showing some videos, or everybody else like we got like it's we're the TV. Like it's like the entertainment right now, like it's like there's some people that don't watch TV, don't they just watch Netflix, and we're the 106 in Park and the MTV jams and like all of that. Like we are that, like I mean, like right now, like ain't nobody like we're setting up to go get on different streaming platforms so we can perform for our fans and different go to different places, and oh, we're gonna link up with such and such and they got a certain brand and they're gonna stream off their platform and we're gonna give a concert to our fans. It's like it's whoever got the bigger bag to come book you right now for a stream to go perform.
do you agree with that?
I mean, it's 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 cool for now, I guess. It's cool for now. Like, but it's like, I don't know how long people gonna want to do that. Like
You have any of that plan? Like doing
I've
some
had
like
I've
virtual
got offered
performances?
I've got offered shows right now that are like people would be there. Like he's like trying to drop bags for me to perform right now. People supposed to be there. Tokyo's not doing it. Like you want me to fly to Florida right now and perform for like 100 or 150 capacity or whatever. I got a 3-year-old at home. Just in just the world and just how everything's going. I don't know, like like me, I gotta be on my P's and Q's, like just with everything, just how I'm moving. Like there's certain bags that's cool, but like the money, like I guess the streaming is good.
Right.
Cause I was like, my managers are not pressing me to go do them shows. It ain't like, oh, we heard him for it. So it's just like I'm blessed to have like a certain fan base. They really showed me that in 2 years of not dropping an album that you good. They show you during the pandemic, they're like, is you good, bro? Like we still listening to your music. You still go play it. You're in that lane of that. Like we still gonna listen to you. So I'm like, oh, I dropped new music with the entire music, blah, blah, blah. Like I know y'all gonna go. Like I'm not like I'm staying in my same bag. There's some songs that are elevated to like me really rapping, saying some like life stuff, but like I still stay in that same nostalgic like vibe that you got to give them. Like, you know, it's like when like say like a brand has something or like has a drink and say like, you know, like there's two, I wonder if you know this, there's two different type of like Minute Maids that taste like they're the same brand, but they two different like boxes. There's a box like type one, like a carton, and then there's like
The handle, the plastic one.
the plastic handle, right?
Right.
So there's two different ones, but they taste different, but it's the same brand. Like, why would you do that? Like you get like, you know, like it's like that, but like this, it goes back to like with the music to where it's like you can switch it up, but not every brand can switch it up and people will digest it the same way. You know, when a brand switch, when a brand switches something up, sometimes you're like, oh, it's different. Like it tastes a little different now. Like they just lost me.
Never thought about it like that.
Like, but there's some people that can do that because the brand is so like digital that it don't matter. They can repackage it, boom. New Oreo new Oreo puffers. Like whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like just you can just throw a wrapper on it. But some things like are better where people be like, oh, I don't like this dude's flow. He does the same flow on the song. And he's like this, but he's number one. Why are you mad at him? Like, let that guy continue to keep his brand the way it is. Let that dude jump in with those beats and do that, like, because that's what we love. We love when somebody sync in with somebody, like as an artist, or like you keep the same guy. Like, we love to elevate, but you gotta, like, you have to execute it all the way, or it's like, like, so it's like, why change your brand if something has worked for you so well? Like whatever, you can elevate and like add new things to it, but don't completely change the whole branding of the company. And that's just how I feel like they're like this. I like
Wrap up. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. My bad, yo.
Hey, you know, look, when I talk, I try to give a whole bunch, and you can do whatever and vibe. I try to answer whatever you ask.
Nah, you're great.
And like that. I hate being the person that's like, he wasn't talking too much, or he didn't really want to.
No, it was great. We wanted to hear
Nah,
you.
you're very passionate. It was dope. Sorry, babe.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Vanessa. I hope everybody is safe.
Same here. Thank you, and congrats on the album. Good luck with everything. We'll look out for all those videos.
Thank you.